Hi guys, this next video that I've just done is on how to change a combustion control unit on a Baxi Heat Only boiler. It's usually the fan that goes. You get 4 red flashes, which indicates that the fan's gone. But this unit comes as one whole piece. So you got the gas valve, the PCB, and the fan all together. I know when Baxi come out on a warranty call, they can just change the PCB or they can just change the fan, but for some reason they don't sell those bits individually to independents. It all comes as one piece and it's quite expensive. I think it's about 400 quid or something like that. So yeah, it's quite an expensive repair, but it's a straightforward one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you like the video, and if you haven't already but you're watching my videos, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe as well. Thanks for watching. Right, I've got a Baxi Heat Only with the Eco Blues. It's giving 4 red flashes, which is a fan failure. But in these ones, it comes as a whole combustion control unit. So you've got the fan, the PCB, and the gas valve all in one. So I'm going to be replacing that today. That's the part number that you need. Well, no, that's the Wolseley part number. That's the Baxi part number that you need. So yeah, we're just going to be replacing that today. Right, taking the case off, you've got screw there, that just pops forward and swings down. You've got another 2 screws, 1, 2 on each side as well, and that will get the front case off. You don't have to take these all the way, you just need to unwind them enough so that this clip can then just come off like that. So we'll get the case off. Right, that's how it looks with the case off. So there's a few connections we need to undo. So I'll start with the flue parts first. So air duct comes out there. This literally just pulls towards you and then to the side. So that's the flue collector all out. And now we've got gas connection to undo. We've got all the electrical connections inside here, and then you've got 2 clips on either side to pull the whole thing out with the burner. Right, so that's the PCB case. It just flips down. Move that out the way. You've got your mains connection on that side. What was that? Oh, that's just one of the screws that fell off my wristband. You've got a multi-connector down here. This is basically for all your sensors. Let's get that off. It can be a bit stiff. You've got like a Ethernet type connection down there. You've got your electrode and flame rectification leads. Right, so they're all out the way. And now that you can, let's get this cable out to the bottom there. And now you can close that back up. So that's pretty much one unit. Gas nut has been undone. Now over here you've got this module which you need to replace. It. A new one comes in the box. So make sure that you remove that from its housing, or at least unclip it in the meantime, and then you can remove that afterwards. So now we're ready to pretty much take this whole unit out. So the last bits we need to do now is we've got a clip here. Just pull that towards you. And on this side, pop that one towards you. That's loosened the clip up there. Now I've got to use 2 hands to do this because I've sort of found out my own way of doing it, because what I tend to find is every time I'm trying to take the burner out, it keeps hitting the flue at the top, the turret. So I've sort of got my own way of getting it out, but I'm going to try and get this on film where you can see me doing it with 2 hands so you get an idea. Right, so the way I do it is, now that I've pulled these 2 clips down, get the clip from underneath and pull that up. So that's the 2 latches down there, and then what I do from there is I pull that up with both sides, and then there we go. So you can see that's the whole unit. So you've got your PCB, your fan, your gas valve, the burner housing. The burner's actually still in here. So this is basically the same process that you do if you were doing a full strip down service on this. That's the burner out, so give that a little clean. That's the inside of the main heat exchanger. It's a bit awkward, it's an aluminium heat exchanger. So again, it's quite awkward to get to. But the only way to really clean that is to just flush it through with water, and that will then all just go down into the sump, then out through the trap. But yeah, that's how you get the combustion control unit out. Right, in the box you get all new seals, get some instructions. This is important, this is the new chip, the parameter chip. You've got the combustion control unit, and you've got another part of the flue collector as well. So we'll be replacing that. So that's the old one, so we'll put that to that side. That stays, but that's a new seal, that's a new seal. New burner seal, new fibre washer on there, and obviously the new combustion control unit. So I'm just gonna get it all ready and then start putting it back together. Right, I've got new seal on there, new seal on there, new fibre washer I'll put back on afterwards. New burner seal, so that burner will literally just sit back into the slot there. Now go and get that back on. Right, let's get this new one into position. So again, all I do here is I just slide it in. Getting the new one in is easier than getting the old one out. Just make sure it's getting caught, and then it should just slide back. There we go. And you'll know because these clips hook on either side and clamp the burner down. So that's in. Now we'll do our electrical connections back up. So mains on there, electrodes up to there, rectification onto there. Ethernet type connection there. I've got the big multi-pin connection. And that snapshots. Socket and C connection just clips into place at the top. Now all I've got to do is fibre washer in there. Do this knot up. I've also put the new chip in already beforehand, so yeah, make sure you do that so you don't forget. Grease up the seals there, and I'll grease this one up in a minute because otherwise this would have hit in and would have got grease all over it. So just give it a light bit of grease so all the plastic bits are just slide in nicely. So just want to get all that back together now. Right, I've had this tightness on since before I started taking all apart. So obviously I isolate the gas from under the boiler, turn it back on again, and that hasn't moved. So I know that all my joints and everything are all gas tight. So now we're just going to go in, and this one needs to be set up because the gas valve won't be set up. You need to adjust it. I'll show you what it says in the MIs, and we'll make sure that it's adjusted accordingly. Right, if you've never done one of these before, they do come with 2 sets of instructions on how to change this step by step. So it is pretty straightforward to do. You can also follow my video as well that you've just seen today, but this will basically tell you how to do everything. The one thing it doesn't have in here, which it did have the first time I did one of these, is the CO2 settings on how to set up the gas valve. It does give you this where it says check section 9 and the combustion control unit assembly instructions to set up the gas valve. However, I can tell you off the top of my head, because I've done these so many times, maximum setting needs to be 9.3 plus or minus 0.1%, and the difference between maximum and minimum has to be exactly 0.4%. So I normally set it to 9.3 on max and 8.9 on minimum. So that's all back together now. I'm just going to start our flue gas analysis and start setting up the gas valve on this. So I've just turned it on and it's got its previous fault code, so we're just going to reset that first. let it fire up, and then we'll put it into service mode. Right, start this ignition sequence, fans kicked in. Spark, and we have ignition. Right, now this is the easiest boiler to put in service mode. All you do is keep this pressed for about a couple of seconds. There you go, that's flashing orange. That's gone into minimum rate now. To put it into maximum rate, you just press that again. And you can hear the fan starting to ramp up. So now that that's ramping up to maximum rate, I'm going to start my flue gas analysis and start adjusting the gas valve. Right, it's not actually too far out, but let's just adjust that a touch. Where's it gone? Right, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Right, that's stabilised at 9.3. So now we'll just stick it into minimum rate. So all you do is, you can hear that ramping down already. So that was at 9.3 on maximum. We want to get that down to 8.9 on minimum now. Right, so that's come down to 9.1, which is actually not too far off. So now, minimum adjustment point, we want to bring that down to touch. Literally just little by little, because it's such a fine adjustment. There we have it. That's sold at 8.9. And now we just want to retest it again one more time on maximum. Make sure that the maximum CO2 setting hasn't been altered when we're doing the minimum. It shouldn't have done, but you might have a point percentage here or there, but we'll just test it to make sure. There you go, 9.3. And now to take out service mode, just reset. And that's it, we're all done. Got to pack this all up, put it all back together, we're good to go.